presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Fox Sports.
Last night, some serious young thunder lifted the Marlins to a victory in Game 1. Today, ace lefty David Price takes his spin in the sun to try and get the Rays back to their winning ways. It's afternoon baseball, South Beach style. This afternoon, we welcome you to South Florida, North Miami to be specific, and Sun Life Stadium. This is Game 2 of the three-game series between the Rays and the Florida Marlins. The Rays open the day running first in the American League's Eastern Division, and over in the National League in the NL East, the Marlins running second. Hi again, everyone, and welcome with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. We'll be hearing from Todd Callis in just a few moments. Well, the Marlins took the first game of the series last night 5-3. They're chasing the Phillies in the National League East, and they're doing that, Brian, with a host of good young hitters in the middle of their lineup. And we saw one of those last night, Logan Morrison, get a key hit to key their two-run eighth.
Logan Morrison is a really good-looking young hitter. I mean, this is a guy, a good stroke, a power stroke. He's missed some time this year with injury, set out about a month. You can see he's played in 22 games. He's reached base safely in all 22 games. He's hit safely in 19 of them. He's hitting .325 on the year, 6 home runs in those 22 games, and you saw what he was capable of last night. He gets a pitch out over the plate, and he drives it out into right center field for a home run. And then the key at bat off Joel Peralta, the way that he sat back on that split finger and took the ball the other way, that shows you a well-rounded hitter will hit the ball where it's pitched.
Now the Rays coming off a loss. They'll send David Price to the mound. He's been very good in 6 starts after a loss. He is 4-1 for the Rays.
Well, David Price, that's the true meaning of an ace, is he wants to come out and stop losing streaks and pick the team up. You see what he's done over his last 3 starts. He's got a 2-0 record, 2.91 earned run average. That was after that rough start that he had against the Angels. Well, his last time out, he gave up 5 earned in 5 innings against the Yankees. That doesn't sit well with David Price. He is a perfectionist. He's going to look to come out today, give the Rays a bounce-back outing, and pick the team up.
So it'll be the Rays and the Marlins. More interleague play in store just moments away. When we come back, we'll hear from Todd Callis.
afternoon baseball. A lot of people would be loving to be on that beach today as the Rays take on the Florida Marlins, but people have shown up for a little intra-state and interleague action. The Rays and the Marlins middle game of this 3-game series. The Citrus Series rolls on. That means National League strategy when you're in the National League ballparks, and for Joe Maddon, that is very intriguing.
Well, it really does present a lot of different thoughts during the course of the game than the American League game. We do, on occasion, with our team, we'll put the DH in a game, and all of a sudden it becomes National League as the game's in progress. But to really to work the National League game, I try to spend more time, even more than I normally do prior to the game, looking at the lineup card sheet. But I'll tell you what, it's just like anything else. You hear about preparing for battle and the different service groups, whatever, and you could plan whatever you want, but as it's in actual occurrence, things do change very rapidly. So you have to just be open-minded about it, not be afraid to take a chance now and then, and I think our guys know that they have a pretty good chance of playing, regardless if it's an American League game, National League game. We do a lot of different things, so it is different. It's very interesting, and you do have to think a little bit more during the course of the game.
A lot more dialogues with Joe Maddon and his pitching coach, Jim Hickey, and his bench coach, Davey Martinez. We are ready for baseball on a warm Saturday afternoon. The Rays and the Marlins with David Price on the mound for Tampa Bay. Javier Vasquez going for the Fish. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson will have all the action coming up next in high definition. Enjoy.
Is brought to you by AutoWay, part of Auto Nation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. By Tires Plus, thinking tires, think Tires Plus. And by AT&T. Rays and the Marlins meeting, more interleague play. Florida winning the first game over the Rays last night, 5-3. Joe Maddon will light them up this way today. Sam Fold in the leadoff spot. Ben Zobrist in right field hitting second ahead of Matt Joyce, who leads the American League in hitting, by the way. Evan Longoria hits cleanup in front of Casey Kochman. Sean Rodriguez gets a start at second base. John Jaso will catch at seventh in this game. Reed Brignac in there at shortstop, the number 8 hitter. David Price on the mound, batting ninth.
Well, taking the mound for the Florida Marlins this afternoon is right-hander Javier Vasquez. and it has been a struggle. 8 starts on the season, a 2-4 record, 7.55 earned run average. More walks than strikeouts, and an opponent's average up over 320. He'll be looking to right the ship this afternoon.
And the Rays will be looking to try to draw even in this series, as Vasquez prepares to work to Sam Fuld. Sam in center field. B.J. Upton not in the lineup. He left last night's game early. And the first pitch of this game is in there for a strike call. 90 degrees under clear skies. Sam lines one foul out of play. 0-2.
Well, you get a glimpse on where Javier Vasquez has struggled this year on those first 2 pitches. Elevated fastballs. That is what has killed him this season. Keeping the fastball up in the zone.
And a wave and a miss. He comes back with the breaking ball. And that's out number 1.
That could be his best sequence of the year. Fastball, fastball, and then how about this curveball? Recognizing the fastball's up in the zone, throw a curveball right off of that. Sam Fuld over the top. You see that 4-seam spin. You go up for it, drops right below the bat. Good pitch.
One of the things that Edwin Rodriguez, the Marlins manager, has said about Vasquez is that he wishes that he would throw his secondary pitches with more confidence. And Zobrist takes the fastball away.
You know, and that starts with fastball. I mean, you know, your secondary pitches, if you're not throwing them with confidence, I'll bet you're not throwing your fastball with confidence either. Those two go hand in hand. And when you're able to command the fastball, both sides of the plate, down in the zone where you want it, then guess what? When it's time to throw the curveball, the slider, the changeup, you're going to throw it with conviction.
And Zobrist lifts a pop fly short center. Infante out from second base, and he makes the catch. That'll be out number 2.
Well, let's take a look at the Marlin defense as it lines up this afternoon. In the outfield, left to right, Logan Morrison, Emilio Bonifacio, and Mike Stanton. Across the infield, third to first, Wes Helms, Hanley Ramirez, Omar Infante, and Daddy Sanchez. John Buck once again behind the plate. Today's Marlins defense brought to you by Sweet Base Supermarkets, home of the sweet spot.
So the bases are empty for Matt Joyce, who came up with a couple of 3-base hits in the game last night, moving his average up to 358 and taking over the top spot in the AL batting race. First pitch is a strike. One strike to count. The pitch is down. 1-1. Fuld and Zobrist retired. Vasquez 34. He'll be 35 in July. And that pitch a little bit high. 2-1. There was also some thought that Vasquez had dropped a little in his velocity on the fastball, and that's something he's trying to deal with. Foul ball back. 2-2. So it really sounds as if he's a pitcher trying to maybe redefine himself a bit.
Yeah, you know, and when you're doing that, it's almost like you learn how to pitch all over again. Although his fastball velocity today looks, looks pretty 91. Good, pretty firm. Yeah, 92, 93 on a couple of them. And they've been up in the zone. That could be by design. We'll have to see. There's a good off-speed pitch there. Matt Joyce not chasing. But the one thing that you notice about Vasquez is teams have been having success on the off-speed pitches against him. Fastball's elevated, but they've been having success with hitting off-speed that's down and away from him. That's typically not.
Swing and a miss. He throws a fastball 3-2 to strike out Joyce, and that retires the side. 1-2-3, bottom of the first coming. for David Price, coming off last year's 19-6 season, 5-3 this year through his first 9 starts with a 359 earned run mark. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup he'll be facing for the Marlins. Emilio Bonifacio is going to lead it off in center, followed by Hanley Ramirez, and then Logan Morrison, Gabby Sanchez, Mike Stanton, and John Buck down the middle. Wes Helms at third, Omar Infante hits 8th at second, and the pitcher Javier Vasquez bats 9th.
Well, David Price will be looking for a bounce-back start today. His last start against the New York Yankees, it was a no decision. He gave up 5 earned runs and 5 innings of work. That's one of those outings that will eat at you until the next time you can get out there, and we've seen what David Price is capable of doing after a stumble.
Well, here's Bonifacio, the switch hitter. He plays all over the place. 1 ball, no strikes, and he's in there with Coughlin out of the lineup against the lefty, David Price. 1-1 the count. And Price recently has thrown a lot of fastballs, Brian.
He absolutely has. You know, and it started really with that start against the Angels. He went 4 1/3 in that ball game, gave up 12 hits and 5 earned runs. And, you know, that was a game where, yeah, he threw a lot of fastballs, but he also a lot of trick pitches, you know, a lot of backdoor cutters, and he had fallen in love with that a little bit too much, the off-speed stuff, and it really bit him on the backside of that ball game. Well, we saw him against Toronto and Cleveland after that, and it was fastball city, just dominating fastball.
Yeah, for the month, he's thrown about 85% of his pitches have been either 4-seamers or 2-seamers.
Well, you remember that start against Toronto. He went 118 pitches, and talking to him after the game, and he said, I think I threw 11 or 12 off speed. It was just heater after heater, and he was trying to bury guys with it. You would expect that same kind of an outing today, coming off of the one he had against the Yankees.
He's gone 3-2 on the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the first of this game. And ball 4 up and away, so he issues the pass.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense this afternoon. Left to right in the outfield, Matt Joyce, Sam Fuld, and Ben Zobrist. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Reed Brignac, Sean Rodriguez, and Casey Kochman, John Jaso behind the plate. Today's Rays defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket, home of the Sweet Spot.
Hanley Ramirez. We mentioned last night Ramirez, who comes in the game hitting .217, came into the series struggling against right-handed pitching at 173, but he's hitting .400 against left-handers. And there's a little bunt that just dies on the infield, and the throw not in time. Well, that ball bunted and just stayed put when it hit on the infield. And the Marlins have men at first and second and nobody out.
Well, that's what you try to do in golf. This is a nice little wedge shot. Just drop it in there, and it drops. Stays right there. Good hustle by Ramirez up the first baseline, and a throw by Jaso a little bit late. Watch his thing check up. I'll tell you what, that is money, especially if you're on the golf course. Little indecision,
like
too, on who was going to take it. Yep. David Price breaking off the mound or John Jaso going out for it. When that ball just stayed put, that little hesitation cost the Rays.
Here's Logan Morrison. The first pitch for Price is wide. Well, Morrison at 325. With the home run in the 4th inning last night and the double in the 8th that set up their 2-run inning. That turned out to be the margin of the Marlin victory last night. Strokes it into left. That ball is going to be out of the reach of Joyce and go to the wall. Bonifacio scores. They're going to wave Ramirez to the plate. He will score. It's a double for Morrison. And Florida takes a 2-0 lead.
Well, we talked in the open about Logan Morrison. What a good young hitter he is. Edwin Rodriguez believes that puts him in the 3-hole in a tough matchup against David Price, and he rewards him right there. Going with the fastball. We talked about it. He'll hit the ball where it's pitched. He gets it over the head of Matt Joyce, and the Marlins strike quickly, strike early, and it's 2-0.
Morrison grew up in Kansas City, lived there until he was about 15 or 16. He was a big George Brett fan and went to Kevin Seitzer's baseball camp. And his late father helped him in any way he could in regard to his development of a hitter. He had all kinds of Charlie Lau hitting books and instructional tapes and all of that. Well, he paid attention, and we've seen him now. This is only the second game, but he's an impressive young hitter. 1-0 the count to Gabby Sanchez. This one drops in. Tried a breaking ball there.
And David Price trying to mix it up a little bit. You get the feeling, okay, the Florida Marlins hitters are paying attention to that 85% fastball here in May. They're going to come up ready to swing and look for that heater. You got to try to get them off of it a little bit.
Inside, 2-1. Well, what that tells you is that regardless of how hard you can throw the baseball and how strong your arm might be, you're going to have to mix a few pitches in there.
Yeah, and you have to have command of that fastball. You know, when David Price is down and away from righties, he just is, it's deadly. But if the pitch is, you know, you can have an overpowering fastball, but if it's always catching a lot of plate, well, these hitters are pretty good too, and they're eventually going to be able to time you, catch up to some mistakes, and make you pay. So it goes to fastball command, and like you said, you've got to be able to mix in some secondary pitches to at least put some doubt in their mind.
2-2 the count to Sanchez. Inside with the fastball off the plate. And the second full count of the inning.
I'll tell you too, David Price, we've not seen that overpowering fastball from him yet. He's been sitting in that 92 to 94 range. You remember his last couple of starts, he was coming out of the gate 95, 96.
Tap to third, that's going to be foul.
And you just wonder, and this is just me speculating, but you just wonder, David Price realizes, hey, this is a hot, sunny day, 90 degrees. I'm going to be out here all afternoon, maybe pacing himself a little bit instead of letting it rip right from the get-go.
Well, he gave up an opening walk, then the bunt single. Morrison doubling home 2 runs. He's at second at a full count to Sanchez. Pitch foul. Another 3-2 pitch to be made. A ground ball right side. Sean Rodriguez makes the play, and Morrison goes over to third. He's there with 1 out. You know, the other thing that's impressive about Morrison hitting that line drive double off Price, left-handed hitters hitting only 172 off David Price.
And what's impressive about that is your marginal lefties are not going to play against David Price. So that 172 average is against the other team's very good left-handed hitters. He's been dominant on lefties. You know, Granderson nicked him up for a home run in his last start, but that was the first time that, you know, he'd given up a home run in a couple of years to a left-handed hitter.
Infield in, and Mike Stanton, the hitter, 1-0.
It says a lot about Morrison that not only is he in the lineup, but he's sitting right there in the 3-hole.
Stanton hitting 270 on the year. And now double figures in home runs with 10 when he connected in the 4th inning last night at the first pitch of the at-bat into the seats in left center field against Andy Sonnenstein. Foul ball, it's 2-1. Marlins with a 2-run first, a man at third with 1 out. It's Morrison at third base. 2-2. Stanton 1 out of 3 against Price. And ball 3. So 3-2 counts here to the first 5 men he has faced. Ground ball. Longoria's coming to the plate, and running into the out is Morrison, as Jaso put the tag on him. So that drawn in infield prevents the run from scoring.
Well, that's a risky move because this ball almost gets through, but Evan is able to flag it down, wheel and throw, and Morrison, who knows he's an out. Good play there by Longoria because that ball was real close to sneaking through. You see he had to reach for it and then spin and throw, and at that point it became easy.
So the Rays cut down that potential 3rd run. Now Stanton's at first, and here's John Buck. Ball 1. Buck hitting just .226, but he has 5 home runs. He has some pop in that bat, and he's stabilized the catching situation here for the Marlins. There's a curveball that breaks in, and it's 1-1.
Well, I got a chance to play with John Buck when he was coming up through the system with the Royals. He's one of those guys that was always picking your brain, wanted to learn more about catching, what your likes and dislikes were, what you preferred in a catcher, spending a lot of time learning the nuances of the position, knowing that you can catch for a long time if you know what you're doing back there. You can call a good game, you add a little bit of offense, and you become a superstar.
And a ground ball to short. Brignac shuffles it to Rodriguez. Side retired, but the Marlins score 2 and lead 2-0. On to the second in the game today, and all season Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida. It will be Evan Longoria to face Javier Vasquez, who had a 1-2-3 first, and that's the first time that's happened this year for Vasquez. He's given up at least a run in every start he's made in the first inning. And coming into this start, he'd given up 17 first inning runs.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable. 8 starts. You're getting nicked in the first inning, every single one. Putting yourself in a hole, put your team in a hole. It's a tough way to start a ball game.
1-1 the count to Longoria. Casey Kochman next, and then Sean Rodriguez. So fly ball headed toward right center, and Stanton is there. Not too deep. 1 away.
Well, for all the latest news, in-depth investigative reporting, and sports coverage, sign up for the St. Petersburg Times. For home delivery, call 877-THE-TIMES.
There's Kochman. Casey, 5 of 10 lifetime against Vasquez, hitting .340 for the year. A ball, no strikes. Kochman had 2 hits and a run batted in last night. Two and 0. A 3-ball, no strike count. The Rays facing Vasquez. There's Rodriguez on deck. They were supposed to face Josh Johnson in tomorrow's finale of this series, but the Marlins, noting a dip in velocity, and they put him on the disabled list with what they're terming some shoulder inflammation.
Yeah, that's not good news for the Marlins. Josh Johnson is a horse, one of the best starters in baseball.
3-2 now. 3-1 with a 164 earned run average.
An opponent's average 185. That's outstanding. I mean, that's good for a guy coming out of the pen, a shutdown short inning guy, but as a starting pitcher to hold the opposition to a 185 average, enough said.
And ball 4 outside to Kochman. The Rays have their first base runner. James Shields will pitch that game tomorrow for the Rays. So Johnson, who and we saw last night, you know, he had that comebacker that got him on the forearm, but they really didn't think that had much to do with it. But during that start, his velocity had been down a little bit, and after his side session, they decided to put him on the DL. 1-0 the count to Sean Rodriguez. One and one. Looks at a strike. Slider. That's been a nemesis for the Rays' second baseman against right-handed pitching.
Well, so often Sean Rodriguez gets that front side he wants to pull, and that front hip really leaks towards the third base line. And when he does that, he pulls his entire upper half away from the pitch away.
He swings and gets hold of this one, drives it deep to left, and that ball's going to be high off the wall. Kochman digs for third. He'll stop there on the double by Sean Rodriguez. Sean down in the count. Hits a double high off the left field wall.
Now let's take a look at our checkers double of the game. You can have a great game plan against a hitter, but you better execute. He wants it away. See that ball middle in, and that's why he gets hurt. Sean Rodriguez opened that front hip up quick. Is able to pull the hands through, drive this ball high off the wall out in left field, get runners second and third.
And that's been a recurring problem for Javier Vasquez this year. Bad location.
Bad location. You know, and the fastball, that's another thing. You know, when he has been getting hit with the off-speed pitches that are away from hitters, you know, that's one of those things that, you know, red lights start to flash, and you say, how does that happen? Well, you look, he has not been throwing his fastball in, whether it be to right-handed hitters or left-handed hitters, very often. I mean, he's got a ratio of almost 6 or 7 fastballs away to every one fastball in. Well, if you don't make a guy aware of the fastball in, he's going to lean out over the plate, and then you understand why even his good off-speed pitches away, they're getting hurt. And poor location on that fastball cost him.
Yeah, and that's the other problem when he does come in. Location has been a problem for him in there. He's made mistakes. And as we discussed the other night, when you pitch in, you have to pitch in. But you have to be careful in as well, because 2 out of 3 things that are going to happen could be bad. If you make a good pitch, you've made a great pitch.
And Sean Rodriguez is one of those guys you better be very careful going in. In fact, if you're going to pitch him in, you almost just want to buzz him, because he is so quick in there with that hip and his hands. He wants a ball middle of the plate close to him to be able to turn on. You saw that the way that he pulled off the couple of sliders that Vasquez threw, and then he tries to go fastball away. That ball leaks all the way back across the plate, and Rodriguez dumped on it.
3-0 the count to John Jaso. The Rays with 2 men in scoring position. That's a strike. 3-1. By the way, Jay Bente is going to make the start tomorrow. He's been recalled from New Orleans, replacing Johnson, who goes on the DL. 3-1 to Jaso. The count is full.
He got right back into this count with a couple off-speed pitches. The slider followed up by the curveball.
It's Edwin Rodriguez, first-year manager of the Marlins. And a cut and a miss. Jaso out on strikes.
Well, if you're Javier Vasquez, just what the doctor ordered, second and third with 1 out, you need a punch out. Look at that. Slider keeps it right in on the inside corner, breaks it underneath the bat of Jaso, and does indeed get that strikeout.
Well, Reed Brignac's going to be the hitter, and the Marlins are going to walk him intentionally, with David Price due next. So the intentional pass will load the bases. So here we are in the second inning, and David Price will get a challenge at the plate. He'll get an opportunity.
That's all you can ask for. Here you load the bases. You're down 2-0. Talk about a pitcher helping himself. Here you go, big boy.
Well, these pitchers have been taking BP for quite some time now, preparing for interleague play, as Brignac is walked intentionally here to get to Price. And they've had some fun with that BP.
That ball was launched. He's going to enjoy that. Oh, these guys will have some fun. You better believe it. Hit pitchers in the cage. It can be dangerous.
Well, he's put in all that hard work, swinging the bat, running the bases. And here he is with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the second inning against Vasquez. Rays are down 2-0. Walk, a double, and the intentional walk. 2 outs. Price takes the pitch for a strike. That might have had a little slide to it at the end right there. I'm not sure. It had some movement on it. He drops Gets that one in. Strike 2. So he's yet to challenge David Price with the fastball. One ball, 2 strikes.
A little bit, maybe too much respect here, David Price. Javier Vasquez running away from that fastball, and he's had a pretty good one, but that tells you right there, just not confident in that fastball, whether it be the velocity or the location or a combination of the two.
And he tried to throw the curveball, but couldn't get it to bite enough. The count is 2-2.
Well, here it is. 1-2. That ball.
Well, Foxtrack kind of like that pitch on the corner.
Well, Foxtrack doesn't count.
And ball 3. He did come in with a fastball there, and now it's a full count.
He tried to create movement on that fastball by his arm angle rather than just letting the grip work and pounding that fastball into the zone. He really pulled his elbow in, almost trying to make that ball sink, and it just shot up and away.
3-2, and Price fouls the fastball back, forcing another one. You know, and the way Vasquez, the way his season has gone, if you foul a pitch like that, now it puts pressure on him again at 3-2.
Absolutely. Well, he played around. He got ahead of him with a couple off-speed pitches and then threw 2 more that were out of the zone that missed badly on a fastball. Yeah, the pressure is absolutely completely gone right to that pitcher's mound.
3-2 again. And a ground ball to short. Ramirez has plenty of time and makes the throw to first. Rays leave the bases loaded. Bottom of the second coming, 2-0 Florida. Nothing. Just a reminder to be on the lookout for the Miller Lite. Tastes great this moment coming up later in today's game. Well, David Price had a prolonged first inning, gave up a couple of runs. Finishing touches on his warm-up pitches here, and let's check in with Todd.
Going a little injury update on B.J. Upton. He left last night's game. Said he felt a little pull in that left gluteal muscle in his first at bat. It was on a swing and a miss, and he was kind of off balance, so he left the game. precautionary reasons. Joe Madden said he could have used BJ today in the starting lineup. Didn't want to take the chance, but he's available to pinch hit or play defense, and he thinks he'll be back in the lineup tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, that would be good news. He's been swinging a good bat for the Rays. He's a big part of their offense that they're trying to get started.
Yeah, and that defense here in this ballpark, that
Yep.
center field out left center, right center plays very big, and you like to have those wheels out there.
Wes Helms, pitch to him is down and in. A ball, no strikes. Foul back. 1-1. Pop foul up the right side, carries out of play. 1-2. Price coming off Monday's outing against New York when he gave up 5 runs on 6 hits in 5 innings. He struck out 5 and walked 1 in that game. And that's a strike on the inside edge. Helms caught looking, and he has a parting word with Wally Bell.
Well, Sunday, May the 29th, NASCAR on Fox moves to Charlotte, where Kurt Busch will try to defend his title and take home his 3rd checkered flag of the year. Coverage of the Coca-Cola 600 begins Sunday, May the 29th, with the pre-race show delivered by Pizza Hut at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, in high definition only on Fox.
Omar Infante takes a fastball, strike 1. Rays left the bases loaded in the top of the inning. And a line drive right down to third, caught by Evan Longoria.
So you want to play third base, huh, Dwayne? You better be ready.
I'm telling you.
You had better be ready, especially Longoria is playing about even with the bag right now. He's got a guard for the bunt with Infante. Quick hands.
2 outs with the bases empty. Javier Vasquez, 3 out of 11 at the plate. Fastball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. One and one. Rays divided 2 games in Toronto with the Blue Jays and dropped last night's game. 2-1 right now, the count. Price has a little conversation with himself backing off the mound here.
Well, you know, this is now the here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and still kind of waiting for David Price to look like David Price. He just doesn't look comfortable out there on the mound this afternoon in the early going.
Vasquez lifts a fly ball to right. Zobrist shading his eyes and makes the catch. 1-2-3. We're headed into the 3rd. 2-0 Florida. runs in the first. Ball game heading into the third. And the poll question today brought to you by AutoWay. Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message rates apply. Well, we're on the East Coast now. There's a look at the West Coast and who has the better beaches. TB1, the Gulf Coast. TB2, South Beach.
Kind of depends on what you're in the mood for, D. Wayne.
What do you mean by that?
If it was after midnight, I would tell you.
The pitch to Sam Fold is a little high. 1 ball, no strikes. And we might have to get Todd Callis involved because he has extensive experience on both coasts. 1-1. So we would probably have to confer with him.
Well, I would agree. He is a purveyor of all things beaches.
1-1 the count to Sam Fold. Swing and a miss. What do you think, Todd? You have any opinion there?
Yeah, I got a no-brainer, guys. Sunsets on the West Coast. Easy.
There you are.
Oh, look at him.
Huh?
Look at him.
Yeah.
See what I mean? He took it to a new level.
He did.
And we were kind of stuck there, brains, and not the best place, and he dropped sunset on us.
Yeah, you mentioned, did he go? Oh, Fold is out on strikes. That's 4 strikeouts now for Vasquez.
Well, you can see how good Vasquez can be when he keeps the ball down in the zone. That was a good breaking ball. Good enough that he can keep it out over the plate and drop it below the strike zone, get the check swing. But that's all set up by working everything else down in the zone. That's a tough call, too.
So here's Ben Zobrist.
I will say this.
Pitch is a strike.
I will say this for Todd Callis and the sunset on the Gulf Coast beaches. I've seen them.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They're the best, but what he did, he took it in a completely different direction, and I think purposely stayed away from the after midnight.
He did.
That element of the whole thing. He just completely ignored that and really picked a no-brainer. I mean, the sunsets on the West Coast, absolutely no question.
He realizes it's a day game.
Yep. And so, Todd, anything else that you have in mind?
Well, yeah, there you can see the beautiful sunset that we have on the Gulf Coast. But I will admit this, guys, there has been an occasion where I have seen the sun rise on the beaches on this side, too.
There you go. See, and that's what you like about him. He just can't help but tell you the truth. He's such an honest guy. It's a foul ball. So he's experienced both the sunrise on the East Coast and the sunset on the West Coast.
That sounds like a good time.
It's a good time, Todd. Oh, yes. 1-2 the count. And that's an even count now to Ben Zobrist.
The same thing with that fastball, trying to create movement, trying to be perfect, not trusting his stuff, trusting the grip, trusting his mechanics, letting that ball move there on its own. He's really getting underneath it, and you see it shoots up and away and becomes really a waste of a pitch.
Ground ball to the shortstop. One-handed pickup by Hanley Ramirez, and the throw. Zobrist
he did
out of there.
He did a nice job on that one. He stayed behind that fastball. At the other one, he kind of dips the elbow. It shoots up and away. He stayed behind it, drove it right to the outside corner, and he picks up the ground ball out. Well, celebrate Memorial Day weekend with the Rays. Exclusive party areas and great group options are available. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com to reserve your seats today.
Well, here's Matt Joyce, and the pitch is a strike. Matt started the day leading the American League in hitting, but Jose Bautista had a big day in the Blue Jays game up in Toronto against Houston. He went 3 for 4 with 2 more home runs. There's a ground ball and a base hit up the middle, and Joyce is aboard. So Batista now is at 364, and Matt is 1 for 2. He started the day at 358, but there's a 2-out single, and so we'll have to see what Joyce does with the rest of this game.
Now this one gets right through the 5-hole. Javier Vasquez not real happy with himself. Made the pitch, got the ground ball right through the wickets.
So Matt's up to 360. And it will be Evan Longoria. Rays tried to put together an inning in the second, but they left the bases loaded.
Well, that was a golden opportunity to get right back into the ball game.
Ground ball down to third. Helms takes it down to Infante for the force, and that retires the side. Rays have a hit and leave a man on the beach. Todd's under that umbrella.
Into the bottom of the third. The Rays Summer Concert Series presented by Hess Express continues Saturday, May the 28th, when pop punk star Avril Lavigne performs her chart-topping hits, including Girlfriend and Complicated, all part of Rays Saturday Nights presented by Bright House Networks. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets. A lot of rockers in the house today, Dwayne.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something. It got a little strange. I mean, you know what's supposed to happen at 6 o'clock tonight?
That I've heard the rumor.
Yeah, there's, and so far we've seen Howard Hughes and Jerry Garcia in the stands today.
Right. I thought that the whole 6 o'clock thing, I thought we weren't supposed to know when that was going to happen. I didn't know that it was on the calendar now.
There's a little tap to the right side. Rodriguez chases, picks it up, and throws out Bonifacio. He can get down the line, and Rodriguez just got him at first base.
Yeah, you better be flawless, because Emilio Bonifacio can fly. He hit that little chopper over to second base, and look how close his play was. Wow, half a step.
And a good call right there by Laz Diaz down at first. Here's Hanley Ramirez. Pitch is low. The ball, no strikes. Price really still trying to find himself out there. 2-0. Gave up a couple of runs in the first and had a 1-2-3 second, but still not the sharp David Price that we're used to seeing.
No, you don't see that confident body language. You know, you don't see that little flair that David Price typically has. It's like he's fighting himself today. Maybe mechanically doesn't feel quite right. The stuff hasn't been shooting out of his hand like we normally see it. Haven't seen that late life on his pitches. Still plenty good enough to win.
3-1.
But these are those games as a pitcher when you do have those starts that you don't feel that good physically. Sometimes it feels like you're pitching underwater, really. And you've got to find a way. You've got to bear down mentally, make smart pitches.
And he throws it by Ramirez.
You know, that was a fastball. His last start, that was 96, 97. That one, 93, just it doesn't have that jump on it.
Ground ball, that's headed to Rodriguez. More routine right there to get Ramirez 2 up, 2 down. You know, the interesting thing about that, you see a pitcher will come out. I think that that analogy is pretty good. It's like trying to pitch underwater. You'll see a guy do that for 2, 3, 4 innings, and he'll come out in the next inning, and it'll all be there for him.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a matter of fighting through it. Things aren't smooth. You're trying to find. You feel like you're just a tick off, and then all of a sudden, boom. You get your release point, you get out in front, you feel the ball good coming out of your hand, the confidence grows, and like you said, Dwayne, you find it and take off. And some days you don't, and you just got to battle through all day long.
Logan Morrison up here, and he fouls the first pitch away.
Well, that's what you want to see more of on a day like this for David Price. First pitch strikes. That's just 4 now out of the first 12 batters that he's gone first pitch strike.
And the breaking ball is outside, 1-1.
That's the one thing you can say about David Price coming into this start. His command has been excellent this year.
2-1 right now. Florida won the first game last night 5-3. They have a 2-0 lead here in this game. Pulled foul. It squares it at 2-2. And the fastball is fouled back. That one in the mid-90s. Got it up to 95. Well, doubled his first time. Morrison came in 9 out of 27 against left-handed pitching this year. Takes that one back a third, foul near the tarp and out of play. Longoria gave it a chase, but could not grab it. Well, there's Billy checking in with Jerry Garcia, checking his ID. Swing and a miss at that curveball. So Morrison is out on strikes. We go to the 4th, 2-0 Florida. as we head into the fourth. Our AT&T trivia question. Who won the first meeting between the Rays and the Marlins? Dating back to the inaugural season and for the Rays anyway, the beginning of interleague play. Here's Casey Kochman. Fouls the first one right back into the screen. Kochman walked his first time up there. Javier Vasquez, 3 scoreless innings to start this one. He's allowed 2 hits and allowed the Rays no runs, 2 walks. Fly ball lifted into short left, and Logan Morrison is there to make the catch. Let's check in with Todd Callis. Todd?
Got the whole Rodriguez clan here, including Mom, Maricela, and tell us about how many people are here. What's going on today?
Probably about 50. We're just all sitting in different places, but more or less about 50 families and very close friends.
One of his family members just yelled, "I love Dwayne's stats," so a lot of support down here. The double off the wall, pretty exciting start to the game, huh?
That was amazing, amazing. I was speechless.
What's going on after the game? Big family gathering?
We have a big barbecue, very typical Cuban barbecue, roasted pig.
Wow, and where's that going to be?
It's going to be at my brother's house. Sean's literally coach most of the times. Sean's uncle.
Guys, it's a big fiesta today after the game. We are going to have that covered in our Inside the Race featuring Sean Rodriguez. So there's at least 30 here and another 15 on the other section. Guys, back to you.
All right, and I got to believe that Todd's going to get the address to that barbecue. Sean pops it up on the right side, and it's caught by Omar Infante. So that's out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in the 4th inning. So not much doing. The Rays threatened in the 2nd. That's the only threat they've been able to mount so far against Vasquez. Here's John Jaso. Pitch is a strike. Jaso went to 3-2, and then Vasquez threw him a slider 3-2 and struck him out. 1-1. Ball, 2 strikes. This is the kind of performance the Marlins have been looking for out of Vasquez to give him a little boost. Came in with an earned run average of over 7.5. There's a 1-hopper to Infante, and he makes this play. 1, 2, 3. Go the Rays. Bottom of the 4th coming. 2-0 Florida. as we head into the bottom of the fourth inning. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. Which team won the first game ever between the Rays and the Marlins? And the date was June 22nd, 1998. Extra innings, and the Marlins won it 3-2. Kevin Stocker, the Rays shortstop, hit an opposite field home run in that game. But ultimately, it was Todd Zeile on this pop foul, ironically, to first base. In foul territory, Fred McGriff made the catch. And the winning run scored. Renteria beating the play at the plate in the 12th. And that gave Antonio Alfonseca the win over Jim Messier. So the Marlins won the first meeting between these two clubs. Gabby Sanchez taking a pitch inside. The bottom of the fourth is underway, 1-0. Of course, we had a sacrifice fly to first last night in the bottom of the eighth inning. The Marlins scored their fifth and final run when Logan Morrison scored from third on a pop off the bat of Mike Stanton. And Casey Kochman had to back up for it, and the runner scored. 1-1 pitch, line foul.
You see how that breaking ball there from David Price just kind of rolled in there. It's like he is just a little bit early on his release point, not quite getting down and through the baseball. That was just a hanging curveball, not the sharp one that we're used to seeing from David Price, and he's just not quite getting out in front on all his pitches, whether it be the fastball or the breaking ball. Release point a little bit early today. You see right there, he tried to make the adjustment, held onto that one just a little bit too long, throwing it down and in, but he recognizes there has to be a change, and he's trying to find it now.
And he missed with the pitch wide, so back the other way. And it's a full count.
Well, and that would be indicative, the same problem. The changeup, not getting all the way through it out in front, it's going to stay arm side up.
Foul out of play.
Same with the heater. You know what we've seen from David Price the last couple of starts with a fastball away to righties at the knees. He has been living at the knees, and when he elevates because he wants to. Today, a lot of pitches elevated because he's just not able to get it down there for whatever reason.
Liner into center field, and that's going to fall in front of Sam Foles. Sanchez has a leadoff base hit.
Well, fly through Tropicana Field on Sunday, May the 29th, and the first 10,000 kids 14 and under get a Super Sam Folds superhero cape. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets today.
Sunday, May the 29th, previously modeled by Todd Callis. Well, the Rays are home after a trip up to Detroit to close out this road trip. They're home against the Cleveland Indians and the Texas Rangers. Stanton fouls one out of play. Mike Stanton. One strike. And a fastball runs the count. 0-2. A little bit more of a challenge today for David Price. You know, before that base hit by Sanchez, the high pop foul. Kochman and Jaso, and that ball is out of play. Jaso trying to gauge exactly where he was in relation to the dugout and the side of the screen. So the count is still 0-2. I was going to say, technically, Price, after allowing the first three base runners to reach, then retired 9 in a row. But it wasn't the kind of 9 in a row that you really sit up and take notice of. Really battling his way through that.
And shows you how talented he is. Because usually 9 in a row, he's just laying waste to a lineup.
Missed. 1-2.
Well, that's a good sign there, getting that fastball down in the strike zone. David Price not happy with the call of Wally Bell. Thought he had him.
And he's got him now. Stanton out on strikes. A fastball. Mid-90s. Strikeout number 3.
Just challenge him with the hard stuff. You see that? That's 95 miles an hour, and Stanton was out in front. He swung at that almost like it was a changeup. You don't usually see a guy swing through a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and be early.
Here's John Buck. Sanchez, the runner at first. He got Buck on a breaking ball his first time, and Buck 4 for 8 lifetime with a home run against David. Starts him with a fastball in, 1-0. Sanchez not very far away from the bag there. Again over to first. Price 1-1 in 2 starts against the Marlins with a .292 earned run average. And trailing 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th of this game. High fly ball to center. Fold will shade his eyes, and he's got it. 2 outs, and back to first goes Gabby Sanchez.
Well, if Rays pitchers strike out 10 or more hitters in a home game, take your ticket stub to any Cane's Furniture store and get a coupon for a free Papa John's pizza. Plus, sign up at Cane's Furniture for a chance to meet one of your favorite Rays players. Cane's, quality so good, it's guaranteed for life.
Now Wes Helms. And the pitch is sliced foul. That's out of play. The base runner Sanchez had started and stopped. And Helms sliced one foul out of play. Too low, 1-1. Something extra on that one. You can hear Price with the effort from that delivery. Pitch inside, and the count is now 2-1. Ground ball to short, big hop right to Brignac coming off the grass, and the toss to Rodriguez for the force retires the side. 2-0 Florida. Brought to you by Checkers, Feast On, and by your local Southern Ford dealers. Middle game of this interleague matchup between the Rays and the Marlins. Picture is worth 1,000 words when there are no words.
Yeah, that's just disturbing. All set for 6.
Is Reed Brignac. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, at the stroke of 6, we have to have those guys on camera.
Mandatory.
The strike, 1-1.
I always wonder the thinking behind that.
Yeah, hey,
like, hey,
let's go to the ball game.
Listen,
today.
yeah. Hey, get the face paint out.
Yeah.
You go as whatever. I'm going to go as Jack Napier, the Joker, if you will.
It's foul. Out of play.
And we're going to head out to the ball game.
And we'll have a countdown to 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll sit out in the sun. Hopefully it won't melt. That sounds comfortable. Let's do it. Let's do this. Look at him.
Yeah.
And you wear your wig.
Cut off the sleeves.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's where I draw the line.
2 balls.
Maybe,
two
you know
strikes.
what? They could be in concert after this game. This could be a Saturday night for the Marlins. They may be part of the act.
Yeah, they're in concert whether they're going to perform or not. I mean, this is just who they are. Yeah, they're still 2-2 to Reed Brignac. It's always fun to sit next to a couple of people like
I
that.
mean, right?
Yeah.
That is outstanding. No shame at all.
Yeah, obviously.
His tray hat.
Full count now.
What is going on at Sun Life Stadium?
And then the shot to center field. Bonifacio closes and makes the catch. Brignac lines out. Time to take a look at the upcoming Rays schedule, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Rays and the Marlins tomorrow. We'll be with you at 1 o'clock, and then for the Rays on to Detroit, home Friday against Cleveland. Cleveland for 3, followed by the Texas Rangers. As we look forward to the upcoming Rays schedule, you can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. David Price takes the first pitch for a strike. Well, Price was up there with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the second inning. Gave Vasquez a bit of a battle before he grounded out to the shortstop. A piece of that one fouled, and the count is 0-2. And off speed. And Price is way out in front. 2 gone.
Yeah, that curveball, he took a lot off that. It didn't seem like that pitch was going to ever get to home plate. Slow break.
I'll tell you, usually that pitch is in the mid-70s. That was about the mid-60s there.
Yeah, you could see him just take a whole lot off. 67 mile an hour. Curveball, good break on it. Saw how way out in front David Price was.
Sam Folds shortens on the bat. Takes the pitch for a ball, 1-0. So 5 strikeouts for Vasquez in the game. Two and 0. Vasquez coming in 2 and 4 with a .755 earned run average. And he throws a strike to Bold. It's 2-1. Ground ball headed to second. Infante with the toss to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom of inning 5 coming. 2-0 Florida. To hit in the bottom of the 5th. Visit your local Toyota dealer for great deals on amazing lineups of Toyota vehicles. Toyota moving forward, and our Toyota trend. We've been impressed by what Logan Morrison has done with the various pitches he's seen.
Hit the ball where it's pitched. Pulls the one here. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes right down the bat. Looking at that ball off the end. You saw the ball that was middle in. He pulls it. The splitter from Peralta takes it the other way. The fastball elevated away from David Price. The eyes right down on the baseball. That's what allows you. You've got to be able to mechanically get to all the different pitches. But boy, when you keep your eyes on the ball, your head down, mechanically he is just locked in right now, and he's getting to everything.
Well, you can see it's impressive, and we were very impressed with him last night when he hit that ball the other way, the way he did off Peralta. After he did the home run earlier, Infante takes the first pitch, and that's 1-0. And what we're seeing here is the direct influence that he grew up, following George Brett and the Charlie Lau approach to hitting. And he's very impressive for a young hitter. He's impressive for any hitter, for that matter. 2-1. And he's an aggressive player as well, and it's going to be interesting to follow him now from our point of view, watching him in the other league. The liner into left center field, and it's caught by Matt Joyce. Infante hit the ball on a line. He's been hitting better down in the lineup recently for the Marlins. Made a bid for a hit there, and Joyce closed in on it.
Yeah, that's twice. He hit a shot down to Longoria in his first at-bat, and there he makes a bid, and Matt Joyce runs it down. That ball looked like it actually was headed out towards the gap and then kind of died out there. Joyce had to come in and, catch that ball down below his waist.
Vasquez taking the pitch for a strike. Second base, and Rodriguez is there. Sean's throw to Kochman at first. 2 up and 2 down. Bonifacio He opened the first by drawing the walk and scored the first run. In fact, that first inning was keyed on that walk and then a bunt single by Ramirez. And Morrison doubled in 2 runs, and a bunt attempt there fouled right back into the screen for a strike.
Well, that's part of Bonifacio's game. Take the walk, try to get on base, make things happen. We saw the speed and that ground ball over to second base to Sean Rodriguez and came close to beating that play out.
He lifts a fly ball right center field. Fold will have to go back, and right there is Zobrist. Zobrist makes the catch in right center. 3 up, 3 down, on to the 6th. 2-0 Florida. Marlins struck early. First inning double by Logan Morrison, chasing home Bonifacio and Ramirez, and so far that's been it. Javier Vasquez has made 78 pitches through 5 innings with 5 strikeouts, walked 2, and has surrendered just 2 hits to this point. We'll go into the 6th with Zobrist, Joyce, and Longoria due up against Vasquez. Ball 1. Edwin Rodriguez, the manager of the Marlins, had said they really don't have a lot of choices right now in their rotation. Johnson on the DL and Jay Bente will be up to pitch tomorrow. They're the strike, and so he knows that Vasquez has been struggling, pitching as if the weight of the world was on his shoulders, and he's trying to get him to be confident and telling him just to go out there and pitch. He said, pitch the way you can, and hey, if they score a couple of runs, it's not the end of the world. But he said, well, you're pitching Saturday, it might be, but yeah. All things being equal, it's probably not.
Right.
And so here he is pitching into the 6th inning,
as if his life depends on it.
Yeah. Swing and a little foul ball, and the count goes to 2-2.
Well, they really need him to try to iron things out and get on some kind of a roll with Josh Johnson now being added to the disabled list.
Action in the bullpen, and Randy Choate, former Ray, loosening. Edward Mujica, the right-hander. And Zobrist out on strikes. He was out in front of that.
Nasty off-speed pitch there by Vasquez, dropping that ball down and in. It's a changeup. That's all it was. Actually kept that right out over the middle of the plate, but you see Zobrist out in front. Well, that's a good change.
There's Matt Joyce. That has a base hit and 2 at bats. So his average is at 360. And a little comebacker to the hill. Vasquez tosses it to first. Well, the Rays haven't done much with him at all. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th inning. Again, Jose Bautista had 3 hits in the Blue Jays win over Houston, including his 17th and 18th home runs of the year.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I mean, how about that guy?
I mean, it really is something. Every day.
Yep. Oh, Evan Longoria.
Well, I shouldn't get carried away. If it was every day, he would hit, what?
Yeah, he'd have more than 18 home runs.
Just a few.
But we knew that that was just a bit of hyperbole on your part. A little roller, and it's grabbed by Helms, who turns and throws. Wes Helms makes a nice play to get Longoria. And the Rays are up and down 1-2-3 for the 3rd consecutive inning. Bottom of the 6th coming. 2-0 Florida. The 6th inning. Today's game brought to you in part by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Visit geico.com today. We go to the home half of inning 6. David Price has made 79 pitches through 5. He'll face Hanley Ramirez, Logan Morrison, and Gabby Sanchez.
This is a very important inning here for David Price, coming back through that middle of that Marlins lineup for the 3rd time now. Down 2 runs. Cannot allow them to extend this lead any further, especially with the way that Vasquez is pitching. Now, we don't know how much longer he's going to be able to go, but that Marlin bullpen has been very, very good all season long and cannot afford the Marlins any more runs.
Good ball, 2 up, 2-0. They count to Ramirez.
That was a changeup there, and that was a noticeable slowing down of the body there by David Price. Really not using good arm speed out in front to try to throw that pitch. He's trying to throw it with his body.
And a long drive deep to left, and there it goes. An off-speed pitch hit into the seats and left, and it's 3-0 Florida.
Well, that's exactly, big league hitters will pick up just a slight difference in your mechanics. He just saw a changeup where David Price clearly slowed his body up, and he came back with another changeup. Same thing. Slowed the body up. Look at this. Oh, that just screams, crush me. That little tip-off, and you see the swing right there by Ramirez. He was right on that pitch, not fooled at all because he recognized with David Price slowing up his body, he knew that pitch was coming. That's like throwing BP.
Here's Morrison, and the pitch is down. Well, Ramirez 2 for 3. He continues to hit well off lefties. His 4th home run of the year. Pitch inside. 2-0 now to Morrison. Two and one. So Price has given up 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 singles, a double, and a home run. That squares the count on Morrison. 2-2. It's a full count. And a line drive right to Brignac. One away.
Well, Saturday, May the 28th, the UEFA Champions League final comes to Fox with a rematch of the 2009 final as Sir Alex Ferguson and his Manchester United squad looks to avenge their 0-9 defeat to Barcelona. Fox Sports exclusive coverage begins Saturday, May the 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific in high definition. And you know what, Dwayne?
Yes.
With all this talk about Messi, Rooney, Chicharito.
Yep, Sanchez will hit this one to center. Please continue.
Fold. You don't want to overlook the goalies in this game. You got Victor Valdez on the Barcelona side. You got Edwin van der Sar of Manchester United. These guys are 2 big rocks at the back end. And don't forget, this is soccer. Your best defender is always your goalie. I mean, I know you know that. It's the same thing in hockey. You get a guy in net that can knock some stuff down, you win championships. And that is what this matchup is all about.
Yeah, our relationship here in the booth is reaching new heights all the time. It's growing by leaps and bounds as you acquaint me more and more every day with that wonderful game of soccer. I mean, you know a lot about it. And I have to tell you, I am frankly surprised.
Well, where else can you spend the better part of an afternoon, 3 or 4 hours, and see a point?
1-strike pitch, skied to center. Fold is there, and he makes the catch. That retires the side. A run on the home run. We're through 6. With the score now, 3-0 Florida. The Mosaic Company and the Rays working together to end hunger through home runs for food. With every Rays home run, Mosaic donates $500 to Feeding America Tampa Bay. So far, $22,500 has been donated to Feeding America Tampa Bay. Casey Kochman takes the first pitch. There's a strike. Kochman, Rodriguez, and Jaso. Kochman has drawn a walk. This pitch is high. It's 1-1. Well, 5:50 here Eastern time. So if the Rays, in fact, do have a 6 o'clock deadline, they'd better score some runs fast.
You got to get it going.
Pitch down. 2-1. Kochman, Rodriguez, and then Jaso. Three balls and a strike. We do have reports of a volcano erupting in Iceland. The countdown is on. 9 minutes left.
Where's Dick Clark?
And a strike that started wide. So full count to Kochman. And a skip past Sanchez down toward the corner. Stanton will have to play the carom off the side fence down there. And Kochman is in scoring position to open the 7th with a 2-base hit.
Well, that might be the break that the Rays needed. This ball, a curveball out over the middle of the plate. Kochman hit it hard, but Sanchez just whipped it. You see the glove down. He's looking back on what did that hit. Vasquez making Sanchez feel really good.
Yeah, Gabby Sanchez has spent a lot of time with Perry Hill, their coaching staff, trying to improve his first base work. Hill, a stickler on good footwork. It all begins there.
Well, that's your base. That's what puts you in the proper position to use the hands correctly. You get your feet crossed up, and all of a sudden the arms don't work so well.
One strike to count to Sean Rodriguez. For the first time in this game, the Rays have the lead man aboard in an inning. 0-2.
You see, right there, the base for Sean Rodriguez, not good. Front hit opens up, arms don't work so well. It applies to hitting too.
Same could be said in soccer.
Yeah. Well,
it's all in the footwork there.
I'm telling you.
More ways than one.
Yeah, when you watch those two goalies do their things, you'll realize that.
Sean's mother looking on. And his brother right there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sean doubled back in the second inning. 1 for 2 today. Facing the right-hander Javier Vasquez. A ball, 2 strikes. Vasquez working here in the 7th. His pitch count's been in good order in terms of innings. 6 innings, his longest outing of the year. He's done that 3 other times. And Sean is out on strikes. Out number 1 and the 7th strikeout for Vasquez.
Now, he was just not able to stay back long enough. That was another slow curve by Vasquez. Sean Rodriguez doing his best to stay back, keep the hands back. You see 69 miles an hour and still just a little bit too quick. Can't believe it.
Now John Jaso. Jaso has struck out and grounded out. Takes the pitch down a little bit. Vasquez at 98 pitches. His high pitch count this year is 110. The only time he's been over 100. A 2-ball, no strike count. Two and one. Three, 4-0 for the Marlins. 3-0 for the Rays. Marlins have left 2. The Rays have stranded 4. 2-2. Again on the top of the hour.
Have to do the traffic and weather.
You've got the weather covered. Two-two. And a foul ball. Jaso stays alive. Buck could not hang on to that one. Too tough for that one to be a foul tip. Just a foul ball. So Jaso will get another shot here.
Get exclusive deals and coupons delivered right to your phone with the free TampaBay.com/things to do iPhone app powered by the St. Petersburg Times. It's available now at the iTunes App Store.
So after a conference between Vasquez and Buck, the Florida battery all set. 2-2, the count to Jaso. And he lines one, grabbed by the shortstop Ramirez. Hanley Ramirez grabbing that one. 2 gone. A little leap by Ramirez.
Well, he's a big guy anyway. Gets up, makes a nice grab of that line drive off the bat of Jaso. Good move there by Kochman. You know, they say freeze on a line drive. You actually want to be heading back towards the bag. Sometimes freezing's not enough. Slip in through the back door and nail you.
So Reed Brignac will be the hitter. $21,814. The attendance announced today. And here's Brignac. Reed hit a liner into center in the 5th. Bonifacio made the catch on that one. He hit the ball well. The pitch is high. The ball, no strikes. Pitch away. 2-0. High pop up, short center. Bonifacio coming in, staggering under it, but he makes the catch, and that retires the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. 7th inning stretch. We're going to take the stretch. Maybe we'll be back, and maybe we won't. 5:59:40. We're back. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a 3-0 ball game. David Price has given up these 3 runs on 4 hits. John Buck leads off for Florida. Pitch is high.
Well, that was another changeup there by David Price. Just not in good rhythm today. Really slowed up again.
He's behind Buck. 2-0. So 93 pitches for David. Fly ball headed into left center and over to make a diving catch. Matt Joyce racing in from straightaway left into left center. Makes the grab.
Yeah, really nice play here by Matt Joyce. This is our Home Depot doing more on defense. John Buck making a bid. Matt Joyce saying not so fast. And yes, he did say that. Again,
He verbalized it.
he did verbalize it. David Price saying yes. Keep the Rays in the ball game. Make plays like that. I'll tell you, it's not easy too. You know, Matt Joyce, the majority of his playing time over in right field, making that transition over to left field. The ball comes off the bat different spins, different things you have to look for. That is not as easy as one would think.
Pitch is fouled back by Wes Helms. The count is 1-1. The Rays have a couple shots left, and Price trying to hold the Marlins right where they are. Strike 2. And a soft little looping liner into center for a base hit off the bat of Helms. He serves that one in there, and he's 1 for 3. So with 1 on, 1 out, Omar Infante will be the hitter. Well, we've survived the 6 o'clock hour. And our producer, Mike Griffin, spending the day with us. He really should be with his better half, and we do mean better half, Kelly. It's their anniversary today. And so 6 years, and we wish them a happy anniversary. And Mike gets to spend his anniversary with us. Kelly doesn't mind. Well, that's really great. That's great. Pitch is fouled back by Infante. Strike 1. Yep, happy anniversary to the Griffins. Yeah, Maddock, his son, watching the game. He is a big baseball fan, and we're not sure if he's going to play, manage, produce, broadcast, but he's showing signs of being able to do all of those. And they have a brand new Griffin on the way. We're trying to convince them to name him Poncho. There's a shot back into left, and that ball is going to get out of here. How about that? Infante hits an 0-2 pitch. That's his first home run of the year. A 2-run shot. That's going to make it 5-0. Now the Marlins got him for his defense, but also expect to get some offense. Up in the lineup, he had struggled, but since they've dropped him to 7th and 8th, he's been hitting the ball well, and he hits a line drive home run.
Well, up in the lineup, up in the zone. 0-2 fastball. Ball right up chest high. And he hits a hard line drive that just sneaks over the wall out in left field. Now the Marlins extend that lead out to 5-0.
Well, that's a big blow for the Rays to take. Struck by the second baseman of the Marlins, Infante. Gives him 16 runs batted in. And it's a 5-0 ball game. This is Martinez. Waldo Martinez pinch hitting for Vasquez. 2-0 the count to Martinez. Juan Cruz, who had been up earlier, up in the bullpen. That's a strike. 2-1. So a home run by Ramirez in the 6th, and a home run by Infante in the 7th. It's fouled back. 2-2. Now the count is full. And strike 3 call. That is the second out.
Well, good fastball there by David Price. Full count. Comes in, freezes, and that will bring Joe Madden, and I think he's making the move.
Yeah, Madden comes out of the dugout with 2 outs here in the inning. Cruz should be ready, and he will get the call. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Metro PCS. Today brought to you by AutoWay, part of Auto Nation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. The Marlins scored 4 runs last night, won the first game 5-3. They've scored 4 runs or 5 runs today with a 2-run home run here in the 7th inning, and lead 5-0. David Price departs. He made 107 pitches in 6 2/3 and gives way to Juan Cruz, making his 20th appearance.
Perfect 2-0 record. 14 strikeouts, 13 walks for Juan Cruz. And David Price did not have it this afternoon. Didn't look comfortable out on the mound. Didn't look comfortable mechanically. Didn't have his normal good stuff.
Bonifacio hitting left-handed sends a fly ball into foul territory, and Joyce down there to make the catch. So the 7th inning is over. The score 5-0 Florida. guy out of the Marlins bullpen came on to pitch the 8th inning last night. Rodriguez got him for a double, but then he really got tough.
Yeah, he blew away Kelly Shabik with high heat. Then he goes after Ben Zobrist, punches him out. And then Johnny Damon making a bid right here, a little bit too high. Stanton makes the catch up against the wall, and the Rays rally flames out. Now Mike Dunn, see the line from last night. I'll tell you, he's a big, thick pitcher. Kind of guy you bring in the 8th inning to bridge the gap to your closer. You give it to him on 4th and inches.
Well, he's got a very strong left arm. Elliott Johnson will lead off to hit against him here in the 8th. Adam Russell busy in the Rays bullpen. The pitch is a strike. Rays have a good-sized hill to climb, down 5-0 as Elliott hitting .263. Luciano's on deck. Oh, 2. One and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes.
He is tough with he's got that fastball. It's a firm 95. He just, look at that, stays on a perfect true line, but it's just got some jump on it.
Now Justin Ruggiano will be the pinch hitter for Sam Fold. Justin got into the game early last night when Upton left. 0 for 2. He was hitting .308 at Durham. The pitch is too high. Ball, no strikes. Dunn throws another strike. 1-1. Ball, 2 strikes. Well, the opposition hitting 123 off Dunn.
I just want to see a foul ball.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
I mean, he just comes out there. There is no secret to what he's trying to do.
Left-handed hitters hitting 115, but right-handed hitters are hitting 128 off him.
He keeps the ball away from him. High velocity. Forces you to reach for it. There we go.
Giano makes contact, fouling it away.
And he'll also elevate. We saw him do that with Kelly Shabik. We saw him just do it to Elliott Johnson. Get that ball just a little bit above the hitting zone with that good velocity. You see it out there. You see the big, the ball looks big, close to the eyes. You go to swing, and
Well, you've seen your foul ball. Now what do you want?
How about a double in the gap?
Full count.
How about a nifty dance step?
Dunn has some kind of arm. And he draws a walk. So the Rays get a base runner. Luciano pinch hitting walks. And Ben Zobrist will be up there.
Yeah, this will be a nice little battle here. Ben Zobrist had a nice one last night with Dunn. Fouled off some pitches before finally succumbing to the fastball. But, you know, you see a guy the night before, and all of a sudden you get a chance to turn right around the next day and have another at-bat off of him. This ought to be interesting.
Pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Dunn was originally signed as a position player, and in 06 decided that maybe pitching was his quickest way to get to the big leagues. With an arm like that, I mean, why wouldn't he be pitching to begin with? Wow. We'll be with you tomorrow at 1 o'clock on Sun Sports for the wrap-up game of this series. James Shields will be on the mound for the Rays. Infante will pinch in the place of Josh Johnson tomorrow for Edwin Rodriguez. There's a strike. 2-1. High fly ball. That's got some length to it, but it's not going to be deep enough. Morrison making the catch. And Luciano back to first.
Yeah, Ben Zobrist just missed that. That ball looked good coming off the bat. In left center field here, it goes from 330 down the line to 434 on a straight line, so it can play deep. You see not quite enough of the legs into that swing. He drove the ball out that far, arms only. He really didn't get the lower half involved, and not able to create enough power and get that ball out of here.
Now B.J. Upton will pinch hit. B.J. takes a big cut and misses. Strike one. And Dunn started his career in the Yankee system as a first baseman and an outfielder. And then middle of the 06 season converted to the mound. A 1-1 count. That's away. 2-1. Rays got a walk from Dunn. Ruggiano drew the base on balls. Three and one. Evan Longoria is on deck. The Rays running out of outs. A man on, 2 gone. They'll take the count full. Two. There it is. Upton pops it up right side. That's a foul ball out of play. Luciano, who was breaking on that 2-out full count pitch, will do it again. Upton draws the walk. So a couple of walks in the inning. 2 men on with 2 men out, and that will get Longoria to the plate. Rodriguez out of the dugout. He's got an eye toward the bullpen here with Evan coming up. So the Marlins are going to make a pitching change. 2/3 of an inning for Dunn. We'll be back in a moment. Miami in the 8th inning. Today's poll question brought to you by Autoway. Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message rates apply. Who has the better beaches? TB1, the Gulf Coast. TB2, South Beach. And we'll give you those results a little later on. Ryan Webb, 25-year-old right-hander out of Clearwater, went to Clearwater Central Catholic High School. He has a good arm and a pretty good sinker. Facing Evan Longoria. Evan takes the pitch up and in. Webb came over from the San Diego Padres last couple of years. Pitched well for the Padres and gives the Marlins a good arm and some depth in that bullpen. This is inside. It's 2-0. Two men aboard. On walk 2. Longoria fouls it. 2-1. Evan 0 for 4 last night. And he's 0 for 3 in this game. high. Now it's 3-1.
Well, the Marlins doing their best to give the Rays an opportunity here.
Well, Casey Kochman is on deck. If Evan could keep this inning going. And he draws the walk. That's going to load the bases. Ruggiano goes to third. Upton moves into second as Longoria walks. That's 3 walks in the inning. Casey Kochman due, and the Marlins skipper out of the dugout again. He's got an eye toward that bullpen. So we'll see a new pitcher back in a moment. Gets the call from the Marlins bullpen. As usual, very tough against lefties. 105 for lefties against Choate and 286 for right-handers. Joe Madden will lift the left-handed hitting Kochman and go to Kelly Shopping, who has one official at bat against Choate, and that was a home run.
Yeah, hoping for a little lightning strikes twice. 2 outs. The Rays have 3 base runners, all because of Marlins walks. Haven't had to swing the bat. Maybe one swing here and you get right back into the ball game.
Marlins scored 2 in the bottom of the 7th to make it 5-0. And here's Shopping facing Choate. The first pitch is in there for a strike. Shopping pinch hit in the 8th inning last night against the hard-throwing Michael Dunn and struck out on a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. 0-2. Down started the inning. Webb, now Choate. It's away. A ball, 2 strikes. Sean Rodriguez on deck. Trying to keep the inning going. Behind in the count. Two and two. No runs. Marlins, 3 hits off Vasquez, no runs, 2 hits against Dunn, no runs, 1 hit against Webb. 2 of those runners belong to Dunn and 1 of them to Webb. The 2-2. That's fouled back. Shopik will see another pitch from Choate. Rays starting the day a half game in front of Boston in the East. The full game on New York. Boston plays tonight at home against the Cubs. Yankees play at home tonight against the Mets. And now it's a full count. 3-2. Blue Jays have beaten Houston today. Baltimore with an 8-2 lead in the top of the 8th at home against Washington. Bases are loaded on 3 walks, a 3-2 count to Shopik. And ball 4. That will force home a run. So Choate got ahead, but winds up walking Kelly Shopik. So the Rays are on the board. It's 5-1. Sean Rodriguez is due. An RBI walk for Shopik.
Well, the Rays able to score a run here without the virtue of a base hit. 4 walks and another pitching change. This is getting ridiculous.
Edwin Rodriguez heads to the mound. He wants the right-hander with Sean Rodriguez due up. He'll be back with the new pitcher in a moment. Pen and then unloading the bench. That's what's happening here. Edward Mujica, the new pitcher, and Johnny Damon will pinch hit for Sean Rodriguez. Mujica 4-2, making his 21st appearance. Johnson opened the inning. Then Ruggiano pinch hit. Upton pinch hit. Shopik pinch hit. And now it's Johnny Damon with the bases loaded. And he swings and misses the first pitch. That's a strike. 5-1, and the Rays do get the potential tying run to the plate, thanks to 4 walks. Damon hits it on the ground, and Roller going to go through it. And right field, a base hit. Upton scores. Longoria crosses the plate. two-run score on the pinch hit single, and it's 5-3. So Johnny Damon got it just out of the reach of Infante.
Well, that's what happens. Walk, walk, walk. You have one-handed dribbling base hit out into right field, and the Rays have 3 runs, have climbed right back into it, and have the tying run on base. Johnny Damon, nice job of just getting that ball deep enough into the hole to get it out of the reach of Omar Infante.
John Jaso. Pitch is wide to Jaso. 2 runs charged to Dunn and 1 to Webb. 2 men on. Strike on the outer edge. 1-1. Runs, 1 hit in the inning. It's a strike. Jaso behind in the count. Chopping at second, Damon at first. And a swing and a miss. Jaso out on strikes to retire the side. The Rays send 8 men to the plate, score 3, and trail 5-3. Third Rays pitcher of this game in what is now a 2-run contest, making his 17th appearance.
1-1 record, ERA of 3.60, 15 innings of work.
The Rays make a number of defensive changes. Russell will go into the 7th spot in the lineup. Johnny Damon stays on to play left. In center field, B.J. Upton. And in right field now, Justin Ruggiano, around the infield. Well, let's go behind the plate first. Chopping behind the plate. And now around the infield. Elliott Johnson is at first. Ben Zobrist moves in to play second base. So the left side remains the same. And that's it. Brignac at short, Longoria at third. And the Rays with Gomes and Ramos in the bullpen. Six and 2/3 for Price, a third for Cruz, and Russell faces Hanley Ramirez in a 6-3 game. The pitch is a strike. Ramirez at a 2-0 pitch out. Off-speed pitch in the 6th, connecting off Price. Made it 3-0 at the time. His 4th home run of the year. It's foul back, 0-2. So the Rays didn't get anything off Vasquez in 7 innings. 2 runs, 2/3 of an inning for Dunn. 1 run off Webb. Choate and Mujica finished out the inning. Upstairs, a ball, 2 strikes. Ramirez hits it on the ground to short, bobbled by Brignac. Ramirez reaches on the error. 4th of the year charged to Brignac.
Well, just couldn't come up with it cleanly. Charges it nicely. The ball takes that little bit of a hop right there. It gets off the heel of the glove right there. Not able to squeeze it.
And now Joe Madden comes out of the dugout. Well, Joe made all of those changes in the top of the inning, sending 5 pinch hitters to the plate. And now he'll make a pitching change. 1 hitter into the bottom of the 8th. Back in a moment. She's given up on keeping track of all the changes here in the last inning.
She has had it. This game has gotten sloppy in a hurry.
Ramos, the new pitcher. Logan Morrison is the hitter after Ramirez reached on the error. And that first pitch is a breaking ball that catches the strike zone. Morrison doubled in a couple runs back in the first. And again, a strike, breaking ball.
Couple of nice curveballs there by Ramos, both at 71 miles an hour. Look at this. Good break right to the outside corner.
Ramirez, the runner at first. 5 runs charged to Price in 6 2/3. Cruz worked to third. Russell, the one hitter. Ramirez reaching on the error. covered up by Shopping. A ball, 2 strikes. Five runs, 6 hits for Florida. 3 runs, 4 hits for Tampa Bay. Rays keep Gomes busy in the bullpen. Pitch is low. So after getting an 0-2, count is now 2-2. There's Brandon Gomes down there. They have Gabby Sanchez on deck, so you figure pretty good chance he could be in this game before long. And a little low. He did go on the appeal. John Hirschbeck down at third, and Morrison's not very happy.
Well, here it is, a 2-2 fastball. You could call that. That's right on that edge, real close.
So that's the first out, a strikeout. Joe Madden out of the dugout again. Between trips to the mound and changes on the lineup card, it's been a busy 8th, and we'll be back with the new pitcher in a moment. Inning. And the new pitcher is Brandon Gomes on to face Gabby Sanchez. Gomes was in the game for 2/3 of an inning last night. Came on to face Buck and Infante and picked up 2 strikeouts. That first pitch down and away, and a reach by Shopping to save it. 1 ball, no strikes. So Ramos struck out Morrison. And now it's Sanchez. Two and 0. Gomes way behind. 3 balls, no strikes. And that's low for ball 4. So that pushes Ramirez up to second base. Jim Hickey's going to head to the mound with Mike Stanton coming up.
Are these two teams going for a Guinness World Record here that I'm not aware of, or that you're not aware of?
Well, something must be going on.
I mean, my goodness. Between the pitching changes, the visits, it has gotten sloppy here with the bullpens.
How about that for the 8th inning? Let's check that out.
There you go.
And here's Stanton. Pitch stopped by Shopping, sweeping down and away. A ball, no strikes.
Good call.
Yep. Hit it. So there's Gomes having a difficult time finding the strike zone.
Get in line.
Ground ball to third. Longoria to second one. Over to first, and the Rays turn a 5-4-3 double play. Longoria, Zobrist to Johnson. We're headed into the 9th, and it's a 2-run contest. The Marlins closer as this game heads into the 9th.
And Leo Nunez has been very good this year. This will be his 24th appearance. He is perfect in saves, 16 out of 16. About a strikeout an inning.
Reed Brignac will be the first man to face him. Brignac tries tries to bunt and bunts it foul. Strike one. Tell you the place to hit it right now is right field, because Mike Stanton out there standing looking right up into the sun trying to shade his eyes. There's shade everywhere else. So strike the count. Swing and a miss. 0-2.
Nunez just coming with the heat right down the middle of the plate.
This one up the left side. Stays alive, fouling it away. Two strikes. On deck, Elliott Johnson. Rays need 2 to keep it going. And there's strike 3 call. Brignac not happy with that call. Wally Bell turns away.
This ball looked to be a little bit up and away, maybe. Well, close enough, I guess. Right at the top of the strike zone. If it's that close, you better make a pass at it. Don't give the umpire the opportunity to ring you.
Elliott Johnson takes the pitch down and in. A ball, no strikes. 2-0. And if the Rays are not pleased with the call, they have to be very judicious with what they say. All of the extra men were utilized in the 8th inning when Joe Madden used 5 pinch hitters. I guess they have Andy Sonnenstein. Not sure where they play him.
Outfield.
There's a strike. 3-1. And Nunez back with another strike. Just like that, the count is full.
Well, if the Rays can find a way to get Elliott Johnson here and get him on base, go to the top of the order, bring a tying run to the plate.
3-2 and a little fly ball into center field. That ball is going to fall in for a base hit. So Elliott Johnson loops one into shallow center, and the Rays have the base runner, and now they will get the potential tying run to the plate with the top of the order, Ruggiano. Justin pinch hit in the 8th inning and drew a walk. Scored the first run of the game for the Rays. So the Rays still have a shot.
Still cling to some life here. Ruggiano, Zobrist on deck. They got a chance.
That's a strike.
There's that little slider that Nunez has been incorporating more and more.
Yeah, that's a result of Buck being around. Yeah, that's all he needs is another weapon.
Right? Already with the good fastball and the very good changeup.
0-2, fastball there.
Ruggiano is trying to tie the ball game up with that swing. He was looking to drive that out to left center.
One on, one out, top of the ninth, 5-3 Florida. And Just a bit outside, down and away. Nunez had 30 saves last year. There goes Johnson. The pitch is a ball, and there's no throw. So Elliott Johnson will get a stolen base. He's at second. The fourth steal of the season for Elliott. So he's now 4 out of 5. The count on Ruggiero stands at 2-2. Ground ball back to third. Long throw by Helms, and it is there in time. Sanchez on the receiving end, and Ruggiero is the second out.
Well, a little bit of an awkward play there. Wes Helms was forced to stay back on this ball. The nature of the chop, you see him have to stand back and then doesn't get a whole lot into the throw, but the good stretch by Sanchez, and Marlins pick up the second out.
Now it's Ben Zobrist. Ben looking for his first hit. 0 for 8 in the first 2 games. And he swings over that one. The change. Strike one.
You got the feeling that Ben Zobrist was looking first pitch fastball and he was going to try and launch. Marlins obviously felt the same way. They go with the changeup and get strike one.
Slow and outside. 1-1. Well, the Rays dropped last night's game 5-3. They're down 5-3 in this one. Check swing, foul ball. Well, he stayed right away from that fastball.
Change up, change up, change up.
One ball, 2 strikes. Did not throw him a fastball in the entire at-bat. Strikes out Zobrist, and this game is over. Again, the Marlins have beaten the Rays by the same score. 5-3 last night, 5-3 today. And we'll be back to